Today, for my consideration, I didn't see My Life as a Zucchini. I tried everything I could. I even looked on the Pirate Bay, which I never do, and even the Pirate Bay didn't have a copy of this movie. This movie that's nominated for an Oscar. I don't even know how I could possibly go about watching this. It said the English dubbed version just came out in theaters, but it looked like the only showtime available was in Los Angeles. So it was impossible for me to watch this movie, which is a shame because I really wanted to see if it could even possibly be better than Moana. I think it might have even gotten like 100% on Rotten Tomatoes. Not that that means anything since Rotten Tomatoes is full of shit, but still, that's a shame because Best Animated Picture is my favorite category. So instead I decided to watch 20th Century Women, which was the only film nominated for Best Original Screenplay that I hadn't seen yet. And I thought it was interesting. I liked it. I enjoyed it. It was pretty awkward. The movie mostly consisted of these characters having conversations with one another and like going out and doing things together, which to the movie's credit, they made that work. It was entertaining. I liked seeing these characters interact, even as awkward as it was. The things they said to each other were just so awkward, and it seemed like it didn't feel as awkward for them, but as the person watching it, I just felt like secondhand awkwardness. I don't know if I'm saying it as a criticism though. It was even more awkward than Manchester by the Sea, which felt more realistic. Honestly, in my experience, I couldn't even imagine people actually talking in real life like the characters in this movie would. They were just so, like, forward, I guess. And I think it was brought up a couple times in the movie, so that was good. But yeah, it didn't feel realistic, which is fine because it doesn't have to be realistic. It is a movie. That was the strong point for Manchester by the Sea, but for this movie, it was just interesting seeing the characters interact anyway. Still kind of painful, though. So I guess what I'm saying is I like that, but I also didn't like that. So, I don't know. I gave it a 7.5 out of 10. Like I said, it's only nominated for Best Original Screenplay, and it is a very original screenplay, although so is The Lobster, and I thought that movie sucked. But yeah, anyway, I can definitely see this movie being nominated for Best Original Screenplay. I'd like to think I might have even considered it as a nomination myself, so I would endorse this movie for this category. Not to say I would pick it as the winner of this category, but that I would agree with it belonging in this category. It also had some interesting editing. I think that's the only other thing I might have considered it in another category for. They would like show pictures of things here and there. I don't know. Maybe that's not very good editing. I don't know. It was cool though. I liked that part of it. If you were thinking about watching this movie, I recommend it, but I would definitely not recommend you watch it with anyone else because as awkward as it was, that would just make it even more awkward. Like seriously, if you know me in real life, don't try to talk to me about this movie. It was already awkward enough watching it. Tomorrow is finally the day of the Oscars, and supposedly I'm going to do this video picking out my predictions and my own picks and what I would have picked for the categories in the first place, and maybe I'll go over the Screen Junkies Oscar picks they did and discuss some of the controversy around La La Land and Moonlight. I'm just looking at my whiteboard I have over here for the video I'm talking about doing. But honestly, that sounds like a big project, and I'm gonna have like only a couple hours to film and edit it. So at this point, I'm not holding my breath. Hopefully I'll be able to do the video, and if not, I'll probably still do a Oscars wrap-up afterwards, even if I don't get around to doing the picks and predictions video beforehand. So yeah, I guess we'll see.